Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel. I'm here for Poppy Stamps today. I have a dies only card for Halloween that features a bunch of silhouette images of different Halloween graphics that were made by die cutting black cardstock from Poppy Stamps dies. So to start off, I have a 4¼ by 5½ inch orange rectangle that I'm going to use as my card panel. I cut that with the memory box wrapped stitched rectangles dies, and now I'm going to place a bunch of different Halloween designs on a piece of black cardstock. These are dies from Poppy Stamps, and you can see that witch circle there. It doesn't actually cut all the way around the circle. You can use it as kind of like an insert. So I'm going to lay this circle die around the outside, and that's also from Poppy Stamps. Everything will be listed down below so you can easily see the supplies that I used. So I'm just lining those two dies up so that there's an even border around the whole thing, and I'm going to tape it down with some washi tape. And I'm just using some washi tape on the other dies as well to make sure that they don't slide around as they run through my die cut machine. Once I've run everything through my die cut machine, then I just have to poke out the excess pieces and make sure everything's out of the dies. And once you do that, you can see that I've cut out 4 different images out of the black cardstock. I have the witch inside that circle, I have a jack-o'-lantern tag, I have a bat ring, and then I also have a stitched pumpkin. And these images cut out of black cardstock and laid on the orange cardstock give it a look of silhouettes on a background, a glowing background. So then I've also cut the Happy Halloween sign. Again, this is very delicate. If I had thought in advance that I was going to use this, I would have put the cardstock on some double-sided thin adhesive like the Thermoweb iCraft that I used in my last video for Poppy Stamps, but I didn't think of it. So this time I'm going to adhere all these down with some liquid adhesive. But first I'm just going to make sure that everything is popped out, all the excess pieces are popped away, and then I'm going to use a paper piercer to do that. I like the Spellbinders Tool-in-One for this because it's got a bunch of different die cutting tools. So now I'm going to use some tape runner on the pieces that I can, the larger pieces here. And you can see that my tape runner actually, the head of the tape runner swivels, so it goes around the circle of the witch very nicely. Once I get to the bat ring, I'm going to put some Ranger multi-medium matte on a piece of, it's just a piece that glue dots come on. And then I'm going to take this tiny little brush and go around the entire die cut there and just make sure there's a little adhesive everywhere. If some of it squirts out the side, that's why it's a matte finish, so you won't see it. And I'm going to do that to all the tiny little pieces. I decided instead of using the positive jack-o'-lantern shape inside the tag, I was just going to use the eyes and the mouth because I liked the way that the orange really stood out inside the black tag there. And now I'm going to do the same exact thing with the Happy Halloween sentiment right in the middle of all of our silhouette images there. And this tiny little brush is fantastic for this. So the last thing I decided to do was cut out the coordinating lines for that pumpkin and cut it out of the orange cardstock that I used for the card panel. I'm going to use the same multi-medium matte with that tiny little brush. I just trimmed off the vine because it would have affected where my sentiment was. You would have been able to see it very well. So that pretty much completes my card panel, but I did want to add a few Tonic Studios Nuvo crystal drops. And you can see there, I made a little mistake. I tried to wipe it up, it didn't work because it's black. So then my thought was just let it dry and then I'll work on it after that. So of course, you could go and do the whole card again. I felt like that would have been a real waste of all my die cutting. So instead I let that dry and then I came back in and did a much larger dot over it to cover up my mistake, which meant then that I needed to go into a few other places and create large dots as well. And that's really as easy as it is sometimes to just fix a mistake, is to just take a breath, let it dry, and then come back in and add some other spots. So now I'm just adhering the entire card panel to a 4¼ by 5½ top folding note card. I am using 120-pound cardstock so that this can go through the mail and it'll stay nice and sturdy. And once that is adhered down, of course you should wait until everything is dry, but I was impatient. So once then you have it adhered, just flip it over and clip off the little wings of the bat that hang over. This way you can put it in a standard envelope and you won't have to worry about anything getting crushed. So that completes my Halloween Silhouette Images Dies Only card. There's no stamping involved. It was very simple to create. You could even involve your whole family in mass producing a card like this. You could do all the die cutting and then have everybody help adhere them down, or vice versa. And I will link all of the supplies down below so you can check those out if you're interested in making some Halloween cards this year. I want to thank you so much for stopping by today. Have a wonderful day.